Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
How are
What a
we?
morning. Good morning, Tony. So glad that you're here. I had a little bit of a fun pun with our heading today saying, will Tony be here or is he missing in action?
I know. My apologies to you, Tonia, and everybody else. It's just been crazy. It's been crazy 2 weeks. Monica, good to see you on board. Yeah. So look, as you know, I went to the land of the rising sun, Japan. What a beautiful, beautiful country Japan is. Have you been over there yet, Ton?
No, I've only done, I think, Singapore. So, yeah.
It's like country Victoria.
Mm.
Yeah, population of 38 million in one city.
See, that would be too overwhelming for me. I'd be like, get me out of here.
Hey, Tash, you know what's surprising? If you guys have been to Tokyo or to Japan, let us know. I went over for a quick ski trip, which was beautiful. It's one of my big, big passions in life. I love skiing. Once I get to the snow, I just feel like it's one of my spiritual homes, one of many on this planet. But Tokyo, 38 million people in one city. And Tonia, they're the opposite to Australians. For 38 million people crowded in the city, they're very quiet. They're not loud. They're not outspoken. They're not anything. I heard one horn actually honk in Tokyo, and that was a scooter that had to quickly duck and weave out of the way. They're so quiet. They're so quiet. And you can tell when there's a group of Poms or a group of Aussies, like they're loud, they're obnoxious. It is, unbelievable. Rachel's on board. Jen, good to see you. Who is this tiny person? I know. It's, Jen, what good call. I'll take that one. What do you do?
Hey, it was my turn the week before too, remember? I had to bail. So what was I doing? We were meant to be on too. So we took it in turns, Tony. Like I had to bail the week before. So
we did blame the universe, though. I think it was such a good cop out on both occasions, Tonia. I like it. Hey, Tasha's got a new job. Well done. Tell us all about it. It's been. So tell me what's been happening. Avichka, good to have you back too. Good morning, TNT family. Good to hear you. See you back. Lovely. Thank you.
Let's see.
Got it. All right, let's get into this world. Look, I just feel like it's so good to be back. I've got to say, missed all you guys. So let me just be the fly on the wall and let me listen to the chatter.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Matt, my cousin Mel. Hey Mel, how's it going, cuz? And Jen's on board. Yes, I was over in Tassie. It was so cool. Love Tassie.
Oh, nice.
What's been happening in the world? How's everyone navigating March so far? Rachel's got a sale. That's so cool, Rach. We were so excited to hear that. So a sale and a quick settlement. So that's really interesting. So when we settle, because remember everyone was jumping on for you, Rach, going, what we felt. It'd be interesting to see feedback on any of those comments.
Yeah, I forget what we predicted because we made it up. Jen, if you could just come through and let us know which one had the best guess, that would be great. I'd appreciate it.
Oh, Mel's got COVID again. Mel, what are you been kissing, Mel?
Mel, is it the bad COVID or is it okay? So Tonia and everybody else, how sometimes you get tested for COVID and you got no symptoms whatsoever, and they say, oh, you've got COVID all of a sudden. Or there's other ones where you've got all the symptoms, you feel like crap and all that. So Mel, I just which one you've got there. Anita's on board. Good morning to you as well. Monica's listening from work. Hey, anything happening astrologically this week? Was full of beans Monday and exhausted since sleeping a lot. Brain fog. Yep. Oh, isn't that Monica? I feel for you because you would have gone, oh my God, how cool's Monday. The rest of the week is just going to be even better. But no, that's not happening.
No, it's pretty crazy. Like I think energetically it has been a little bit up and down, and I think we could all probably relate to that to a degree. And yeah, it's hard to believe we're into March already, halfway through. How crazy is that?
It is crazy. It is
We're
crazy.
waiting on a baby to arrive. It was due day
From
or
a
so.
cow?
No, from
Oh,
Andrew's elder son, James.
oh,
He's having a
sorry.
baby. So we're excited.
My apologies. I just went straight to the farm. I was like, oh, is it like, because this is farm talk, right? I was respecting a baby, and a cow looks pretty, a bit of a heifer. Is that the correct term? Heifer? Is heifer the correct term for a cow?
Heifer's a young female cow. So heifers aren't usually pregnant, but the cow can have a heifer, or it can have a a bull, heifer
A
or a
bull.
bull.
Right. Okay. Look at this. See this enlightenment just here, just now over the other side. That's coming through from you, Tonia. I just been enlightened on cows. Well, what do we got? But congratulations on Andrew's family. That's a big thing. That's beautiful. I love it.
They're very excited. So we're very excited. Avichka's put in here Pisces energy, so lots of water, emotions, and rest. You might find it hard to get out of bed. Oh, yeah, I've been like that. And dreamland might make you tired or have messages.
Oh, Avichka. Interesting. Yeah, look, this week's been a little bit hard to get out of bed. I agree with that. Would you agree with that, Ton?
Yeah, absolutely. I got out of bed today at about 8:30. I went, show's at 9:30.
Yep.
And I had been waking up early and being diligent with my longer meditation. That's my challenge.
Ooh.
This month is actually extending out my meditation. I've got to like 35 to 40 minutes, but my aim is
pretty good.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, time goes so fast, right? As we know.
Yep.
Normally, day to day goes fast. When you are meditating, it goes so slow. You feel like you've been meditating for an hour and it's only 20 minutes. So isn't it funny how, the brain tricks us into that to try and get us back to thinking?
And do you reckon that's what it's about, Tonia? It's just about slowing things down. Like I think we're very good at accelerating things and overanalyzing things. We seem to complicate a very simple life quite well with our thoughts. And it just sounds like, what have you noticed since you've been practicing meditation?
It puts you in a better place to be able to handle things. So basically you might do your meditation and then forget that you've done it, which most of the part you go on with your day-to-day life. But you do tend to find then you're not as reactive, you're not as on, like as humans, when we're wound or when we're going, we're on that flight mode kind of, energy. So we're constantly in the ready to strike or launch or whatever. Once you implement that regular meditation, it just brings you back to that center. So so it's really, really cool. And
nice.
and so that's been great. And I've had a little bit of assistance with that. I've got a guy called Nick from Lismore. He doesn't work with many people, but I got chosen to work with him, and he's been amazing. So so it really helps sometimes to have somebody that helps you be accountable for it and set that as a goal. But even if you don't do that, if you set a goal for yourself, then it was so it's been definitely challenges. Like sometimes he was like, do it when the sun rises and when the sun sets. I'm like, holy shit, the two hardest times.
Wow. Yeah. It's all about challenging.
So that's been a challenge. But one of the biggest things that I've done, and my dear friend Reagan, who came to help me at Brisbane, she said to me, just start and do what you can, rather than, being a typical Aries, it's like jump all in and go, I've got to do it 100% straight away. And she goes, just do half, aim for half an hour and don't beat yourself up if you miss here and there. So that's what I've been doing, and that's actually working well, because I'm not with guilt, if it's like we have our Wednesday nights last night, so I couldn't do it last night, but I'd done it yesterday morning. So
Nice. I like that. Yeah. Good luck with that. That sounds like, I like how it's not a guilt associated meditation. Rachel's up here going, hoping to find out today on a rental, praying for building and pest control get past tomorrow. We need to be out in less than 25 days. I can feel your stress there, Rachel, but look what Jen's put in for you. This is a great suggestion. She goes, breathe, it will fall into place, even if it's a caravan park short term. She wants you to be a trailer park girl, Rachel. That's what Jen's saying.
I love it.
I like it, Jen,
With 3 kids. Yeah.
Very.
You got a pool and a playground, so that's a
Look,
bonus.
and to help you out, Rachel, this is, oh my God. Can I just, I'll dial it back for a second, back into Tokyo, going to Japan. They sell Tonia and everybody else. This is insane. Like, you can buy alcohol everywhere. It's ridiculous. You can go to a vending machine. You can go to a creche where you drop your kid off. I guarantee you can pick up a beer there as well,
So
right?
what if they're not big drinkers? How's that for
They are.
interesting?
They're huge. Now the thing is, we went into like a reject shop or a hot dollar shop, like a really cheap shop. They sold alcohol as well, obviously. They sold 4 liters of whiskey for, I think it was $38 that you could buy. And Rach, what I'm saying, if they had that here, you could move straight into the caravan park, get one of them with the 3 kids. You will be set for the week. Let me just tell you that. Happy days. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, alcohol's a big thing in Japan. It's not spoken about. Mel says here, Mel comes in, I'm dying. This is with COVID. Not that she's dying from COVID, but she feels like, I get you. I totally get you, Mel. First time was a breeze. This time shocking chest infection, bad cough, sweats, fevers for 15 days. Oh, that's really, really bad. I don't know what to do or say there. That's,
That's a
what do you
long
do?
time.
That's a
Yeah.
long time. Yeah. I'm going to ask a dumb question. Have you gone to your doctors and just let them know that it's been 15 days? That's a pretty long time.
It is. And it takes a lot out of you, so you want to be able to override that if you need to, Mel. There is they're saying there's medicine you can get now where you take it and it's it's like it stops the severity of it.
Okay. Yeah, get onto that. Find out about that one now. And over here, and going back into Monica's original question, like what's going on there astrologically, Mel puts in here, I've been hearing a lot of all this week. I've been emotionally flat, friends and a family member too. Maybe it's the moon cycle. Wow, that's an interesting one, Mel. I don't know if anybody else. Yeah, Rach, that's what I thought too, as Eminem with his mum. Rachel, you have stolen the scene out of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Captured that and taken it. I love it.
Yep, brilliant. Yeah, but this one here is okay. So who else has been like this? Have I been emotionally flat? I don't know. I think last week was an interesting, brought out some interesting colors of people, if I can say it that way. There was some high emotions being around for sure, Mel. I'd agree with that. This week feels a little bit flat, but to me, I think I don't know about you guys. For me, I'm finding it to be a nice flat, like a little, like Buffalo Soldier, just chilling out, just
around the outside. No,
no, that's a bit upbeat. It's a little bit upbeat. That's next week's song. I don't know. What about you, Tony? Are you the same?
Let me think. This week, well, because I've been putting the meditation into practice, it's actually been a good. Been a good week for me. So I've actually been okay, and I do believe that it would be why. Otherwise, I probably would be affected more by that. But
okay, look at you. You found a superpower.
Absolutely, I swear by it. I really do. It doesn't make everything perfect, but it certainly allows you to sit in your energy and space. So I'm really wrapped.
Talking about meditation, we've got a lady coming in, Susan North. There's a lovely, lovely lady, meditation and mindfulness teacher as well. She's doing a 4-week course within the clinic for women only, which is over 4 Saturdays, and it's an introductory course, and I'm really excited about it. It's one where I think we just started promoting. We've got one person booked in so far, looking for a possible 12. But because what is it? I think 12 is a nice number, but what do you think for a meditation group? And it's a bit of a theory talk as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 to 12 is ideal, and
that
gives everybody a chance to absorb it. I think the hardest thing, I know I was really lucky with the course that I just ran for 6 weeks. That was, packed.
Is that good?
We ended up, I think, with about 16 in the end. And that was, I had 3 weeks notice on it. So I was pretty much.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So but that was through a center. So they had she was promoting and I was promoting. And the hardest thing these days is getting the word out there. Like, I don't believe, like, unless you advertise on Facebook and, really put it out there, it's really hard to let people know what's going on. So I sometimes wonder if going back to either doing some pamphlet drops or something, we need to change. I feel
I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing a lot of face-to-face. I'm doing letterbox drops, but also like today, once I get off today's show, I'm actually going to a whole lot of GPs, and I'm going to the hospital as well and dropping off flyers and business cards and all that kind of stuff. And it's a very much a scattergun approach, which means you just spray a whole lot of shit out there and you hope you hit something. Yeah. Which I get that. But I think sometimes you've got to do that until you get a database where you can fall back onto, I suppose.
Absolutely. You've got the park out where you are. Like, it would be great to have some, like, there'd be a lot of, I noticed when I was up, there's a lot of women in groups there with their dogs or doing their fitness.
That's a good idea.
And that would be your
target market.
Target market. Yep. They all live around that area as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even if you could get some blue tack, Tony, and shove some, like early in the morning, because most of those are up early.
Yeah, that's right.
That would be a great, a bit of fun as well. And stick you around and see.
But let's have a look at group stuff. I mean, like for women to get into groups, or even guys as well, like the groups that you've just had come through, what was some of the before and after stories, I suppose, like people that would have come in before, like they would have come in with certain issues they wouldn't have even known about, but then after that they would have felt a little bit better.
As in, with the group that I did, or yeah, absolutely. Like, they were amazingly talented, as they all are. The ideal group come together, and for the most of them, they were like, "Oh, I suck at this," And the first couple of weeks, they're like, "I'm no good at this," and it was connecting to your own psychic, spiritual side, and
nice.
What happens, and it's a really interesting dynamic when you have a group like that, because what happens, it's a little bit like when you go and learn anything. That dialogue in your head for the first couple of weeks is that dialogue that runs constantly in your head. So what you'll find, and this is what I explain, things come up for you because it needs to be worked out. And it's no different if I trust spirit, say, if I trust spirit to what do you call it? Like, give me signs. I have to trust myself. So I have to have some self-belief to back that. And the beauty of when we connect to, like, when you get a group and they're learning, is a lot of that voice in the head comes up to be identified and to help break through that. So they're not only learning about their spiritual side and connecting to, their own psychic gifts, but they're learning about themselves and what is that narrative that's going on in your head. And for the most part, the breakthrough is just as much the breakthrough of the internal dialogue as what it is for connecting to your psychic side, which we all have. And we all can be great at it. But the only difference between being great and not honoring it is not having confidence in and belief in yourself.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's nice. So that would have been some really good stories of people just growing that confidence, getting up there. Tash is excited. She's looking forward to her first paycheck. So let's get that cash in the bank. You know what I'm saying, Tash? Let's get that up and going. Jen's going winters. Jen being in Tassie where you just were, she reckons winter's coming a little bit sooner. I agree with you, Jen. Look, we're going to hit 35 today in Sydney, but don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. That's just silly temps. They're not hanging around forever. Almost in agreement with Jen there. Because how is it on the farm there? Is it cold?
We're not. It's just starting to creep in a little bit. It's still warm. We got 31 here yesterday, so it's dry everywhere. So we haven't had a lot of rain or anything yet. We just bought in a heap of hay for the animals. So
I saw that you were on the Bobcat the other day.
Yes.
That was brilliant. That was the funniest Facebook thing I've seen. You made me laugh so much.
Andrew's like, you need the Benny Hill music.
That's exactly it. He's right. Andrew's absolutely correct. The Benny Hill music would have absolutely topped that off. That would have been absolutely brilliant. It was great. If you haven't seen it, jump onto Tonia's Facebook page and check it out. It's her like this. This is not like when I think of bale of hay. This is like a roll of hay that's big enough as a room, like big as this room for sure. And there you are wrestling with it and throwing it around, and it looked like you're doing the tango, and you're the male in it, and you're the lead role, and you showed that piece of hay who was the boss. I love when
such a time they would sit there, and I was like, one time I'm videoing and it's rolling everywhere.
It looks good. It looks classy. Anita says here, yes, a good meditation is when you fall asleep. Give yourself some time and make sure you don't have any appointments to go to. I like that. I like that thing where you give yourself some space and you do that. I fall asleep a lot during a meditation. You know, it's really funny, Tonia and Anita. I just think I'll put on a guided meditation, let's say YouTube or Spotify, whatever I choose to. And I just think, I hope they do their job well because I'm going to fall asleep during this.
No pressure.
I take no risk.
A trick that I have noticed, and it's something that I've developed, from starting from scratch with meditation to now. If you use either the same guided meditation, or for me, it's the same music regularly. What happens is, as soon as that music starts, your brain goes into, I'm meditating now.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've got a couple of meditation music that I like, and they go for half an hour. So you know that while that's going, that's your timer, if that makes sense. So that makes a big difference. And I've used those constantly over the years. And so now it's really, if I want to quickly, I might have, 20 minutes, I'll use that straight away because my brain just goes, meditation time.
I like that. It's a trigger for it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is very cool. Jen goes in here. She goes, I think I might be finally out the other side of my body being unwell. That is nice to hear, Jen. I'm happy to hear that. Over the past 6 weeks, purging and leveling up, body said, no more. I'm unhappy and we are healing. Good on you. I like that. That's a really good insight to yourself.
Can I just share that? And Tony Ann, I reckon, will probably relate to this as well. There's a lot of people going through health stuff right now. And I feel the last couple of months, there's a lot of people that the health stuff's come up to be, addressed. And I know every second person I'm speaking to is like, I've got this, or my body's doing that. And I'm like, wow, energetically, I think there's a lot of bubbling under the surface that has been going on that's now coming for us to look at and identify and make the changes. And the body is, to me, that's what tells us shit's going down or we need to address something. And if we don't listen, that's when we get the more chronic illnesses.
Ooh, Tonia, that's pretty profound. Okay, let's listen to our bodies is what the thing is. Let's have a look. Just going through these lovely comments.
Tony Ann's put, I hope that it stays mild to the end of the month as she's going camping. Good on you. I love camping.
Oh, good on you, Tony Ann.
Fun. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea, Jen. The local paper or Gazette can advertise in. That's always a good one. Do people still read local papers, Tonia Reeves, and everybody else? Do you guys pick up your local rag?
Can't say I do. I did used to, but no, I don't really. Sometimes if I need mulch put down in the garden, I'll go, I need some papers. Then I might read it. But no, I don't.
Anybody else? Just anyone? Somebody's got something here. Monica, yes, I agree. In Segal book is brilliant. Talks about, no, that's got nothing to do with whether or not if you read the local rag. We're on to another conversation. Sorry, my apologies, I interrupted. How rude of me.
You have got, right, from my event, you've got a couple of really amazing advocates for your business that were there at my event. I can't remember the lady's name, the one that I was talking to for a long time afterwards.
Yep.
And I'm like, she is your mouthpiece, that one. And I would be giving her incentive to get the word out there because she was incredible and she had so many contacts everywhere.
Okay.
Do you remember who that lady was?
Yeah, that is Murray.
Yeah, lovely lady. She's your number one advocate, and I thought
Oh,
it's
I
great.
love Murray. Yeah, Darren Murray's all over it. Like once she'll be in tomorrow, and she's great. She's such a beautiful ball of energy. She really is so great. Hey, can I just go back to Tony Ann? Tony Ann, I just uploaded a guided meditation to YouTube the other day. My first upload. Tony Ann, do us a favor. Can you please put that link onto this chat so we can copy and paste it somehow? Because I would love to listen to that. I think it's really good. Yeah, let's do that. That'll be really cool.
Someone. Well done, Tony. My computer wasn't scrolling, so I couldn't see what's what. Now I've got it. I've mastered it. It's going.
Oh, now we get on to, so I'm up to the conversations where Steve Noble comes in. Sorry, Monica, I didn't really I just jumped there. But Rachel says Steve Noble meditations have same start music, and I agree. My mind goes, meditation, aka sleep time. Lol. So
yeah,
Jen
there's
goes,
a lot. Monica's also sharing, right? She need to go old school flyers at cafes, etc.
That's what I do. Yep.
Yeah, on Facebook, advertise an energy protection workshop, and only had one. Yeah, it is. They've made it really hard to get the word out there, and I even know, like, I've got a heap of followers, but getting the engagement.
You sound like you own a religious cult, Tonia. I have a whole lot of followers.
Yeah, well, same, isn't it? Plus, some people don't feel that.
I love it. Yeah, go on, sorry.
It's not getting out to everybody. So it is. But I think it really is. We're starting to be aware of changing up things. So like Monica's put in here, going old school with flyers and stuff. And I do think that's really powerful. Also, Monica, there was somebody on the tribe that was after somebody in Townsville to do meditation and stuff. I did tag you, but I think it might have been your old account. So have a look on that, because she's a regular. She's from Townsville, and she was asking for people around the area. And I'm like, I know somebody in Townsville. So I did tag you, but I think looking at your surname, I think it was your old account. So have a look at that. But yeah, I think word of mouth is 100%. But I did have a lot that picked it up from Facebook, because one girl said, I've been putting it out there that I wanted to go and do something, and then your thing came up. So that's how it's put in. So you just don't know.
Yeah, that will happen as well. Hey, Sean's on board as well. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Tony Ann, she's put up her meditation, guys. Get onto it. I'd be excited. I'm going to check it out. I'm very excited about that. And Jen's got, community centers and things like that. You know what I like? What we're saying is, how do we get the love out there is basically keep it local. Just do it small, and that's it. So I'll be doing that all day today. I'll be dropping into, and that's a good one, Jen. Thank you for that. I didn't think of community centers, but that's definitely one they'll be. The other one I'm going to drop into is the local council. And this is for a meditation course. Just if you guys have just jumped on board, we've got a meditation course within the clinic. So it's one that I'm really, really super passionate about. It's for women only. And we want to get that out there, because the lady who does our front desk, Mary Ellen, she's actually done the meditation course with this lady, and she says it was quite profound. She really found it, it balanced her out really nicely. Yeah. So it was nice for her to do. Yeah, sporting venues as well. It just goes on and on.
And having that, accountability. So I think that makes a big difference. To, if you regularly commit to something, you're setting that intention to dive deeper into it. So, that helps energetically to have that for 4 weeks ongoing. It was the same as when I did the 6-week course. It makes a big difference. But word of mouth, I agree, Rachel. I think word of mouth is amazing. There is a photographer, Rachel's reaching out. There is a photographer who did some photos for me at Brisbane, Rach, and she's lovely, and she's kind of starting out. So she wasn't that expensive, but she did a really good job. So I'll tag you on her page. Anyway, she's a lovely girl. Loves what we do. She was at the MBS, and she was actually doing photography for the guy after me. And I saw her and I was like, hey, do you do photos? She goes, oh, yeah, I'll come in and do yours. So it was great. But she was saying she's just sort of, establishing herself. So she was very reasonable. But yeah, I'd recommend her. Right, she does a good job
Nice.
and a lovely person.
Cool.
Go. Anita's popped in when she is running people's bars on the clients. I've been channeling meditations for them during the sessions. That's awesome. That is awesome, Anita. Yeah. So you're actually, they're benefiting not just from, the healing, but they're also getting the channeling as well. That's so cool. Gay's on board. Hey, how are you?
Hello, Gay. How are you? Good to see you on board. Always good to see Gay on board.
Jen's giving you here, Tony. Go have a mani and pedicure and a haircut, and then a bit of promotion at the same time. Haircut's
Jen,
pretty fresh.
no hair left. Like I'll go in there now, and I'll just take a little bit off the side and the top. I'll come out bald. I'll be like, good idea though. I mean, like, I suppose that's what they talk about when you take one for the team, isn't it?
Rachel's got it sorted. Tell Orla to go and get her hair done and her nails done and chat about your business.
Oh, look, yeah, we've already got Orla's hairdresser on board. She's great. A lady called Jody. I'm pretty sure Jody came to your night. Your night, Tonia.
Yep.
Yeah, and she said, look, I agree with what everybody's saying here, Rachel and Jen and yourself and everybody else that said word of mouth. Look, our business has really grown from word of mouth, and I think it's grown well because we try really hard. We're really passionate, but we keep grounded about it. We focus on quality, not quantity, which is a really nice thing. And we tell a lot of people, like some sporting teams come along, they go, oh, can we get a sporting, can you be our physiotherapist for a sporting team? And basically the way is you have to be an associate, which means you pay them a couple of $1,000 and then you've got to give them like a 10 or 15% discount on their first session. And I've declined all of them because I said, look, I'm happy to support your club. But one thing we're going to focus on is quality. And I think your athletes should actually have freedom of choice of who they want to go and see as a therapist. So we'd like to just put down as we could be a possible option for them. If we're the plan B, that's cool because, that's what we're here for. We don't offer a discount. We just focus on what we can do in that sense. Some people say we're going about it the wrong way, but I just think there's more integrity to what it is. And we're finding the slow burns a better burn because it's the flame that burns longer.
Absolutely. That's the thing.
Yeah.
People say, oh, you're going the slow way. But you know what? I think there's no fast tracking, to be honest. I just don't think you can throw it out there and, you might get a massive group of people that you're in front of, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be grabbing onto. And, I think your best advocates are those clients that are your ravers, and I remember doing a workshop back in my salon days about business and marketing, and they said your ravers are the best. If you offer them something to say, hey, if you get me, get me 8 people and you can have it half price or whatever.
Oh, they love you for that.
Yeah, and they love it. They're happy, and they've gone and done the legwork for you. So yeah, there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah, there is. It really is. Monica says, I just found a place to do meditations at. I need to juggle time at the moment. I want to dedicate some time to yoga as I've paid for it. And yes, Tonia, I did respond. I have access to both accounts. I'm not as active as you are. On her one. Yeah.
Awesome. That'd be great. Yeah, I think meditation. Well, there you go. You've got one person that's reached out wanting meditation, Monica. I think that's a good start. And also, can I say, like when I started my workshops, sometimes there would be 3 people. And we need to sometimes go, if that's where it starts, that's okay. And the more okay you are with that, what happens is it grows. So sometimes we set that thing, we want at least 10 people. We get really, we get obsessed with numbers. And to me, if it's 3 people you're making a difference, they'll go and talk to others. And then before you know it, you'll have 10.
Yeah. So look, I remember there's a guy, his name's Glenn Patterson. He was the drummer of a band called I think it was the Electric Pandas or something like that. And they were a they'll be a one-hit wonder in the 80s. And they really well known in Australia, and they toured overseas and all this kind of stuff. And even after all their fame, they that was it. There was that one-hit wonder. That was it. But he goes, there were many a times where they would be in a pub and it'll be quicker to actually introduce the audience members than what it would be in the 4-piece band, because there's only one person in the pub listening to them. Do you know what I mean? But they still got up. They did the gig. They looked at it as just, okay, well, it's another rehearsal. Let's just rock and roll with that. It's airtime. And they just said, yeah. But then there was other times they sold out, you know, like the Hordern Pavilion or Enmore or, you know, some of the bigger venues around Sydney and around Australia. So, yeah, I like what you're saying, Tonia, because, you know, you've got to do it where it's just, it is what it is. I remember once I got flown to Grafton to do a gig on a government contract, and they go, oh, there's all these people going to this workshop, blah, blah, blah. There was one person that turned up. So I've got New South Wales government paying for me to go up and do it. And I just said, dude, let's do a one-on-one. You're here. Let's rock and roll. And we had the best time. It was cool. It was great. It's not what I expected.
Yeah. That's how it goes sometimes. And I think something we get caught up in, everyone's talking about big numbers and all this. And, you know, it takes time to build, you know, and it really does. It doesn't just happen overnight. So I think when we be real about it, that's the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
sorry.
Sometimes it can be, it hits you hard because you think it's a reflection of your, I don't know, knowledge, skill, whatever. And then sometimes in the universe, it just doesn't happen. Like a good friend of mine, Paul, who owns a gym down the road, he says a couple of things. He goes, he's had some of the most amazing workshops put on at his gym and nobody turns up. And then he'll have one on what's the best way to shell a boiled egg, and the place will be filled out. Like it will be, and he goes, I just can't work it out anymore. I could have like Deepak Chopra come in and nobody turns up. And then I've got this guy with 2 left feet showing you how to dance, and everybody's like, oh, I've got to go to that. So you don't know.
No, you don't know. You know, a trick though I've noticed, well, not a trick, but I'm seeing that happen a lot. And I have seen a couple of those that do run a lot of workshops say this one as well, is ask your audience. Don't be scared to say, what is it you would like us to either, you know, or who's interested in meditation for you, Mon. I just like put it out there to the local group. Say, who would be interested in a meditation? It's going to be on a Tuesday night. It's in this area, you know, and get them to respond. If no one responds, you know, or you get limited, then you know you're not going to get big numbers to start with. But that's a way of advertising, but it's also a way of calling to action for people. And, you know, then if you get a lot that say, yes, okay, let me know your email, and then, you know, you're starting that ball rolling. So rather than advertising, I've got this coming up, you're putting it out there and saying, who would be interested in, you know, this is what I'm planning on doing. I just want to make sure there's enough interest. And, you know, that's where it starts.
Absolutely. So, there you go. There's some really good examples here where Rachel goes, it grows. I started doing readings for gold coin donations. Got to start and then believe. Yeah, exactly. Just go out there, put the intention. Jen comes up. I like this one, Jen. This is good. An access facilitator had no one turn up for her first 2 or 3 bar classes. 12 months later, she was having 200 plus people attending her class. You know, it's really funny, Tonia and Jen and everybody else. You don't really hear those stories. You only hear, I have 200 people plus now in my classes, and like, dude, you had like one person I like the stories. I like those stories where I only had 1 or 2 people rock up and things like that. You know, like I remember Tony Robbins, whether you love him or hate him, regardless, he fills out a stadium of 2,000 to 3,000 people a hit now. He's got a pretty good marketing campaign. But when he first came to Sydney, I think he was doing groups of 8 people. Right, 8 to 12, right, and he struggled to get them on. So, you know, anything's possible. I love it.
Absolutely, I agree. You know, anything is possible, and if you bring to the table that passion about what you're doing and what your intention is with that group, that honestly is the most powerful thing. And like Tony Ann's put here too, you know, sometimes you'll get a lot. Sometimes you'll get a few, but you don't be obsessed with the numbers. You just be obsessed with making a difference to those people that are there and that have actually trusted you to show up and be a part of what you're offering, because that's big.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing, is whether it's 1 or 2 people or 10 people or 20 or whatever number, they've trusted you to, lead them. And I think that's a great compliment to anyone, no matter about the number. If you've got people that are putting trust in you to deliver something, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it. Avichka's got a big one here. Do you want to go with that one?
Yep. Truth is, I haven't been in a good place with my mental health. I had a few sleepless nights, became overwhelmed, then became manic and in hospital. I'm okay now for the most part, but disappointed that medication seems to be the only solution offered to numb it all. I know it was a lack of sleep and overwhelm with emotions and trying to sort through my mother's things and childhood memories. I'm planning to get help to sort through the things and not doing it alone. Any advice, team?
Oh, this is a good one to put out there.
Absolutely. Do you feel, Avichka, just in reading that, is it the trigger about sorting mum's things? So was that something that do you feel, contributed to not being well? Because sometimes if we can associate what our triggers are, it can certainly help us, moving forward, with those triggers as such. But I also think for the most part, if you need medication to help, I don't see that as a bad thing either. I think sometimes people are like, oh, we can all do it naturally, but you've got to utilize what's going to help you and make a difference for you, and that's a personal thing. And it doesn't have to be for the long term. This could be something that just helps you navigate this. What do you think, Tony? Because you're the expert really on the mental health side of things.
Oh no! Look, all we're doing is look. First thing, I feel sorry for you, Vichka. That's never a good place to be. So, and just acknowledge you to actually put something like this up is an amazing thing. So thank you for that. Yeah, I think the first thing is you've had to go to hospital, which is a tough thing as well. With the medication, so the medication is just going to basically offer you some more serotonin and dopamine more than likely. So something to calm you down and get you to balance your thinking out. You've mostly been running off adrenaline for a long time, where you'll have cortisol running through your system, which will make you anxious, which will make you angry as well, and you'll have a lot of brain fog. So the medication's good; it will balance your chemicals out in your brain, which is a really good thing. And don't forget, Avichka, too, that you're doing it through medication, which is the best way to do it. If anything, the alternative to that is people will actually go to substance abuse. So it'll be alcohol, drugs, or whatever to numb that feeling. Yeah. And now that creates another problem altogether. Now you've got not only your anxiety and your pressures, your mental pressures, but now you've got a substance abuse problem as well. At least you don't have that. You'll have it where you go, okay, cool, I can take my medication. There'll be something at it. The way I like to look at it is the medication will give you a moment to hit the pause button and chill out. I like the idea that you're going to seek some help to go and speak to a professional. I think that's really, really good. All I can do is absolutely encourage that, and just it sounds like you're already being kind to yourself, and just give it time. It will happen. Just if I was to take you back for how long this has been happening for or something like that, it'd be very hard. It'd be very hard because you're going through childhood memories and things from your mother as well. So just I always say, how much do you want to scratch the surface and how much do you want to go below the surface? That's the other thing as well. So just have a look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, be kind to yourself. Everyone's reaching out to you, Avichka, here, saying, sending much love and reaching out to you. So don't be scared to reach out to any of us here that have put our hand up, which is probably most of the team, to also help you navigate it, because you don't want to be alone in that situation. And and that's what we're here for, is to offer that support and say but do whatever it is that helps you get through this, is what I think. And don't be judging yourself on it. Big thing. We tend to judge ourselves on what we should be doing or could be doing and all that. And it's like, no, we don't want to be doing that.
Yeah. I'm just reading, I think it's Rachel Peters might be saying something here. where she goes, I'm happy to help. Message me and we can chat if you need any. So I'm guessing that's Rachel that's putting that out to there.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tony Ann's offered. Tony Ann's an amazing healer as well of each current. So is Rachel, and yeah, it's a hard one to navigate, but there's many on this feed. I know, even us that have experienced, I mean, not exactly what you're experiencing, Avichka, but we've still had those challenges, and ultimately you're here to be supported by all of us, and there's so many people reaching out. So please, do take them up on that, as well as us, to know that we're here supporting you and you're important to us. So yeah, we always love Avichka's our sharing what's energetically happening at the moment. So we really value that, Avichka, on your input. So it's important that you're feeling well.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget, Avichka, too, it's we're going to go through peaks and troughs in our lives. So we go through highs and lows. So this is obviously a low one for you. But just understand that it's not going to last forever. But when it does clear, it's something that we're not too sure on, but it will clear eventually. So yeah, just be assured on that.
Yeah. And Vich has just followed up here with, I feel the medication is definitely helpful to pause, but numbing it all will delay it all for later. It's energetic. I feel I've been suppressing it. Sometimes a bitch who want to go through that stuff, and it's not that the medication stops you going through it. I don't believe it's still, something that assists you to be able to work through this. And if that's what's needed, then, go for it, girl. We've got you. So, but please reach out if you need help. Mel shared it here. After she tried medication, she practiced journaling and writing my emotions and triggers down to go back on and reflect when I felt the need to. It helped me a lot. And she's also put in here, her inbox is open anytime if you need to chat.
Oh, that's lovely. That's really nice, Mel. Yeah, a lot of people reaching out and offering support.
Yeah. Rachel's put in here, you've been a lighthouse for many of us, so let us help you now. That's beautiful. I love that, Rachel. What a good share.
It's so true. Avichka's been here for so many different things. Always puts her 2 cents in, and it's always good advice too. So, yep, absolutely. And Tonia's frozen. Just frozen there. Sometimes when she has these moments where she just freezes and she just feels like, that's where she's at. But there's a lot of good stuff coming through here, for sure. So I would say, Vichka, you've got a lot of good support here, a lot of great advice too. Reach out. Sometimes I don't know about you guys, and I think you've done the hardest thing, Vichka, is come out, and that's why I really want to acknowledge you on that. Is just say, hey, everybody, how are you? I'm here, and this is my problem. I'm hurting, which is great. But now let's follow it up with some stuff where you can actually get on board and start taking some people up on their offers of help as well, because that will really make a difference. And people like to help. Like, how many of you guys absolutely love helping somebody else out? And this is, and Vichka, you do it all the time. Vichka goes on to say, just asking for advice and help is something new for me. So this is so beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm okay just trying to go out this the best way. Yeah, look, it is. It's a big thing, Avichka. It's especially when it's not a new thing. It's all like you feel really clunky around it, but you've done exceptionally well. You've done beautifully well. And you know what? Nobody has the silver bullet here or the magic dust they're going to sprinkle over you. But we know that just by connecting with others and talking about our problems, that's the problem's half gone. So you're doing the right thing. Really, really is. Tonia Reeves is back all the way from country Victoria.
Pardon me. Yes, my internet went through. I was like, for God's sake.
It's okay. It happens. It happens.
Us technos, we're so into it.
I know. No idea.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah, there's nothing. There's smell of them. When you walk in somewhere, it's like, God damn it, I can smell a mouse. Not good. That's the hard
is that what it is? Yeah.
It's stinky.
That's why Mel's going, peanut butter and bicarb mixture is a safe way to radiate. eradicate them. I think it is. Oh dear, mice are so destructive. Absolutely, they are.
One
So,
good thing I have to say about them, they do leave messages so you know where they've been.
yep, that's true. That's true. Absolutely. But here you go. Avichka brings up a new one. She goes, just asking for help and advice is something new for me. I'm just curious. Look, it's new for me as well, Avichka. It's a habit that I've had to break. And the question is like, sometimes you go out and ask for help and you get some terrible advice or some really, or people just turn away. I used to have the problem where people didn't believe that I was going through a bad time or anything because the facade that I've carried through my life that I'm always okay, right? And that's what I'd be telling everybody, even on a down and out. And that's my own fault. I go, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'll get through it. But when I did say I was going through a problem, people go, oh, no, you'll be fine. You always are fine. I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying here. So it took me a while to really be able to flip that around, and I understood that that was a bit of me. But I don't think you'd be like that, Avichka. I think you'd be a little bit different. I think it's just you're a strong person. It's just asking for help. Is what's your perception when you think you're asking for somebody for help? Is it a sign of weakness or is it a sign to connect and to get better? And I think it's the association we put to that. What do you reckon there, Ton?
Absolutely. It's a hard one when you've always been the one to be there for others. I agree with you,
Yeah.
Tony. I've been the same. It's been something I've had to learn. And this comes back to giving and receiving, because if
Yeah.
we block, and don't ask for that help, we're actually putting up a wall to moving forward, to attracting what it is we need, because we're saying to the universe, you know what, I don't need help. And that's
Yep.
not just for people, we're blocking anything good that could be coming into us. So we have to shed that. And for the most part, it is a bit of the ego part coming in, going, I want to be strong and I don't want to look weak. And
Yep.
people don't relate to people that don't look weak, because they go, well, they've got the shit together. What the hell would they know about what I'm
What have
going
I
through?
got in common with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, definitely it's a big thing to and even Monica's popped in here. I struggle to ask for help. I internalize it, then my body shuts down and says no. I get sick and it's not helpful for anyone. Definitely learning how to express my feelings better. I love that, Monica, because I think many of us can relate to that. We're not great. It's not part of, we weren't grown up to, or we weren't brought up going, here, ask for help all the time, or, ask,
No.
receive. It's like, shut up and get on with it. You'll be right.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
we've
well,
got
that's right.
we do have to relearn that, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Jen says it well. She goes, I feel also has to do with our program. We do what our parents did, grandparents, etc. They did it harder than us, etc. And they never asked for help. We are the ones who are saying no more. We are breaking down those barriers and starting to speak up. Yeah, exactly. Look, and that's being a Jen really well said it, being a product of your environment. Yeah, that's a big thing there. I think we can all relate to that, can't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
And it's true. It's and when we look at it, that's generational. So that's something that's handed down. So that energy is coming down the line. So until
Yep.
we go, enough, stop, I'm going to change that.
Yes.
It continues, and then we're also putting that onto our children. So it is important to acknowledge that and say it ends here.
Oh, yeah. Look, as soon as Jen put that out there, it was like I was listening to my dad. I was like, oh, yeah, that's what dad would always say.
Yeah.
Don't whinge about it. Just work it out yourself. Work it out
Yeah.
yourself. And I'd be going, so yeah. And it's not to blame your mum and dad, but I'm blaming my dad. Shit, did that come out loud? That was my inner voice. No.
Exactly.
Avichka says it well here. She goes, pretending everything is okay is not sustainable. No, it's not. You're right. And giving to others and not looking after yourself is a change that I'm proud of. Yep.
And it is good on you. And that's it. Just acknowledging that we're going to be the change is massive.
Yep. 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 Absolutely. Look at this. Anita's agreeing with you there, Jen. Good bit. And generations before your dad. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. That's just the way they were born.
It was like fuck your feelings, just
Yeah,
move on.
exactly.
It really
What
was. So
about
we've
what about back in the old days where there was, what was that place, Atlantis? And it was supposed to be all spiritual and happy and everybody was cool, and then it went underwater and that. And geez, they were the good old days. That would have been cool. They would have been more vulnerable. They would have been more cool about it. Yeah, but we do pretend, and it takes a lot of energy too, Avichka, to pretend that everything is okay. It really does, because you're going, yep, sure. Not only are you dealing with your own stuff, but now you're putting on this energy to say everything's okay. So you're trying to push it down and keep it suppressed, and yeah, not a good thing. Yeah, it is there. But Avichka, it sounds like you're doing the right thing. You're chatting to us. You're chatting to the whole TNT community, which is beautiful. And there's people out there offering you support. And I think you've already worked out, is just by the way we get connected is by communicating what our problems are and allowing others into this. Let everybody else come into the problem so they can sort of offer you support, whatever that may be.
And I think too, we've got to remember, how wonderful it is to be able to support someone, like that builds us up to be able to give that unconditional support to somebody and just offer that as a genuine reach out. And so you not only are you being vulnerable, Avichka, but you're allowing others to have joy from being able to help you. And to me, there's no greater joy than to make a difference to somebody. And there's so many. That's why we're all drawn together here on a Thursday, because we're the same. If you broke down everybody on this feed, our bottom thing would be that we love making a difference and helping others. And so I think you're in the right place for that. And I'm so proud of everyone on this feed offering help. Like, that's massive. There's so many comments here. I can't put them all up, but yeah, there's so many people reaching out, and I'm just so rapt. To me, that's absolutely mind-blowing that you've got so many offers on the table to help, and make a difference. So that's pretty cool, Avichka. You're not on your own.
You're definitely not. And she says something nice here to end it off with. She goes, "We're here to change the world. How lucky are we? Lol, it's hard work, but not giving up, being the change we need to see in the world." Absolutely, Avichka. I like that one. That's pretty profound. It is absolutely beautiful. It is.
And we're all work in progress, ultimately, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm going to do the wrap up this week because I missed the last 2 weeks. So I might as well do something for this crew.
That's right. We want you to do
obligated. Something. But look, thank you so much for everybody for reaching out, jumping on board, making this community come alive. It's really great. All of you being vulnerable and beautiful. Tonia's phone going off. Just adds a bit of music in there. It was what was it? It was whatever. I'll just keep on going on. But yeah, look, Avichka opening up's great. Tonia, get onto her meditation if you can. She's got the link up here from YouTube, so that would be really super cool. I'd like to check that out. That would be great. Rachel, good luck with your move. Hopefully, you're not going to be in a caravan park. That's for sure. But if you do, we'll get that. We'll get that whiskey from Japan, 4 liters, $38. You'll be right. And we'll get you Eminem, the greatest hit soundtrack to you. Don't you worry. That will all be happening. So great to connect with you all. Missed you guys in the last 2 weeks. So thank you so much. Yep. I'll sign you over to Tonia Reeves.
See you all same time, same place next week. And thanks for such a great outro, Tony. That was cool. See you then, guys. Thanks for sharing. Much love to you all. Bye for now.